Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Star Wars Battlefront gameplay, and as the title of the video implies, I'm going to be talking with you guys about whether or not you should buy this game, or I guess more importantly, whether or not I'm going to pick up this game, and how that impacts your decision to purchase it or not. So if you haven't seen my prior coverage, I played the beta a boatload. I think I ended up sinking around 40 hours in the week's worth of time that the beta was available. And I really liked it. Like, I had a lot of fun. I'm not sitting here saying the game's without its faults. There seemed to be some balancing issues, at least on this particular map that you're seeing here, the Hoth map. Vehicles and spawn camping get a little bit out of hand, and you're going to get a first taste of this here in this video. But that's not the most important thing, because those sort of balance changes, those can be fixed. At the end of the day, for me, it was simply about the fact that I could just not put it down. I kept wanting to play this game because I was having so much fun playing it. And that would lead you to believe, obviously, he's going to pick up this game and he plans to play it in the future. Yes and no. And I need you to keep in mind another thing. The way I play video games is probably vastly different from the way you play video games. Namely, hey, I've got a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, and these are my main sources of income. This is how I've made a living for 5 years now. So how I play games and how I approach games is of course going to be different from how you play and approach games, most likely, the average viewer. And I sort of got that feedback in the last Battlefront video that I released, which basically said, does fun matter? It was a review of the beta. The ultimate takeaway was, there's a lot of discussion about what this game does or doesn't have compared to other Battlefront games, or even how it compares to Battlefield games. There's lots of comparisons you can make. You can say, well, you could just play this game instead, or this game, Battlefront doesn't have as much as the old games did, or it's too similar to Battlefield. You could say all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, to me, all that matters is if I'm sitting down with a game and I'm enjoying it. And again, this partially comes into the equation, the fact that, yeah, I'm not buying just 2 games a year. And I know there's many people out there who purchase just 2 games a year. And if you purchase just 2 games a year, your decision making on which games you're going to purchase is a lot more serious. It's a lot more intense. Whereas for me, even if I just get a week of fun out of a game, it's great. I enjoyed it, I played it, and you know what, ultimately, let's be real here, just like any other YouTuber or any other Twitch streamer, I never end up actually paying for the game, either by virtue of developers handing them to us, that happens quite often, or it's not always the case. For example, Blizzard games, you always have to pay retail for. They'll give alpha and beta access to streamers and YouTube people, but they never just hand out the game to people. You still have to buy them. So there are many games and many developers that still require you to buy the game. But even if we don't get the game for free, we get money from these videos we're making. I'm going to make some money off of this video. Now, it's not a lot because YouTube ad revenue is pretty shit right now. It's actually been pretty shit for the past year. But you know what I'm saying. You understand the gist of it. All these things you need to consider whether you're watching a video from me or any other YouTuber. You just be real. It's much of a different decision. Now, for me, the answer is yes. I am going to purchase this game, and I think that a lot of other people will have a lot of fun with this game, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to want to purchase it. If you're still playing Battlefield 4 every day, and you just feel like, oh, this is just, it's just a Star Wars skin of that game, which it's really not. It shoots much differently. Obviously, the vehicle system, the card system, there's many differences. But if you already have a shooter that you are playing nonstop, and you really enjoy it, you probably don't need to pick up Battlefront. But if you're someone who likes to try new games, likes to try new experiences, or more particularly for me, I've never been super into the Star Wars universe, but this is getting me super hyped for Star Wars, and I know that's my feeble mind basically playing into the plan. This is the game plan, okay? For Star Wars franchise owner, Disney, they're saying, hey, let's make this game, let's make it fun, addictive, let's get people into the sound design, the universe design, so that they go see the next movie that's coming out, so that they get more invested in the Star Wars franchise and possibly want to buy t-shirts and posters. You know what? I'm not unaware to these mechanisms at play, but I'm buying right into it because I had so much fun. I loved the gameplay. I'm not gonna lie too. I kind of loved wrecking face, because most of the time I was at the top half of the leaderboard, and once I actually got a handle on that third-person gameplay, I was consistently in the top 5, many times slots 1, 2, and 3. Like, I was doing really good, so there's no doubt in my mind that that plays into my fun that I had with this game. If I was constantly getting crushed, I'd probably be like, fuck this game, I'm gonna go play CSGO instead, you know? I'm not gonna lie, or I'm gonna go play, that's probably a bad example, because CSGO is arguably more skill intensive. I'm gonna go play Call of Duty instead, fuck this game, I want to noob tube people, you know? I don't know. I really enjoyed the beta, and I'm ecstatic to see what other game modes are at play, because we know there's more game modes than were at the beta. We know there are going to be more maps. Is basically, I just want to see what else the game has to offer. And you know what? I say that knowing that there's a decent chance that I won't be playing this more than 2 weeks at a time. And you, again, watching this video, you need to keep that in mind. Whether it's myself or another YouTuber or streamer that isn't game specific. You know, there are certainly those out there that literally just cover one game on their channel, be it streaming or YouTube, and that's all they do. So you know, if you want to learn more about the game or whatever, you go to them. But there's also many people like myself who just play a myriad of games, and that's, honestly, it's probably to my detriment, because there's a lot of analytics into why being game specific is actually really good. You sort of basically build up this reputation for that single game, and if it's a popular game, your numbers can just be huge. Whereas variety gamers a lot of times tend to not do as well, but I don't need to go into the YouTube stuff, and you're probably not even here for that anyways. That's not important to you. Point being, I like playing a lot of different games, and yes, I am what you would call a game hopper. I like to go and play different experiences and try different things. I really liked the experience of playing a new game for the first time and getting really into it. And yes, I only do that for a couple weeks. So all of these things, these are all very important when you consider my thoughts and when I say, I'm gonna get this game. And again, if you want to try a new shooter different from what you're playing right now, yes, maybe this is going to be a game for you. But if you're happy with any shooter or whatever game that you're playing at the moment, then maybe this won't be the game for you. I'm not going to say it's doing anything like super new and revolutionary, because it's not. And again, you can listen to a lot of people who played the prior Battlefront games, and they will basically tell you this game has even less than those. So why not go play those? You can go play those. I know it's harder nowadays because I think they shut down the official servers and you basically have to use a lot of backdoor things. But it's still a possibility. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick about it either. I'm just saying, for some people, this isn't worth it. For me, it is. I'm going to buy it. I'm loving it. I loved it in the beta, and I really can't wait to see more. I can't. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked to see more of this game, to play more of this game. So I know this was a bit of a ramble, but I needed to really say those things. I think it's important when, again, considering how my decisions to pick up and play a game differ from yours, and you can use that, and I can tell you at the end of the day that I kept playing this because I was having fun, not because, oh, I think this is going to get some views, because there's a lot of different games that I can play that'll get views, but at the end of the day, I play games that I'm having fun with at the moment, and that's what informs my decision to continue playing that game or not. Here's a great example. I'm going to be playing Overwatch very soon, as soon as this alpha or beta starts in a couple of days, and I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to see if I really get hooked. If I don't, I might only end up playing it for a week or two. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a bit rambly, but I think all those things were important to say. There's a lot of caveats into my decisions compared to your decisions. It's fun, whatever. You either want to pick it up or you don't. Ultimately, I am going to, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys on the battlefield as well. I'm pretty stoked. I'm really looking forward to this. It's hopefully, I'm also hoping the freaking survival mode is better than it was in the beta, because I'm not gonna lie, the beta survival mode is pretty trash. Like, it wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying it at all. It was like super easy, but it's gonna get harder or something. I don't know. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon. I'll see you later.